Hello and welcome. My name is Errity Green and this is Wise Women Television. And today I am bringing you a pick a card reading on their deepest, darkest secret. What are they not telling you? So this is a reading on someone, your person of interest, whoever that might be. It could be related to a love connection, soulmates and separation, or any person that is on your mind that you searched about regarding their deepest, darkest secret. Now, I will say we aren't getting into dark energies or anything weird, occult, or bizarre here in this reading. This is simply about what are they not telling you? What are they hiding from you? What have they not yet divulged? So that's what we will be diving into today. I want to first thank you for being here and being a part of this community by watching this video. If everything lands for you in this reading or you really enjoy it, I encourage you to like, to share, to subscribe, and to join this community here. And I do want to let you know I do offer both personal readings as well as coaching sessions and long-term support to support you in your work, in your life, and on your spiritual path, if that resonates. All of those details are below, and we will go ahead and get started. I will place a picture of the 3 card piles up for you to choose from now. Okay. So card pile 1, what are they not telling you? What is their deepest, darkest secret? Now, at first glance, when I look at this whole pile, so all 3 card piles, I'm immediately feeling like these are more so emotions and things like that that haven't yet been divulged. So it feels like that's likely going to be the case for all the card piles. I don't know for sure yet because I haven't read from them, but we will dive in now and we'll talk more deeply. Okay, so they've been through a difficult period and they're learning to pick up the pieces and move on. So this could be a dark night of the soul. This could be a time of difficulty or challenge or adversity. Perhaps they went through a loss. This could be a recent or at least recent enough divorce or difficulty, any kind of surprise loss, whether, it could be a car accident, but this feels like some kind of heaviness. We all go through a period of time in our lives, if not multiple seasons of a dark night of the soul, so to speak, or a depressive season where we are sort of learning about ourselves and learning to pick up the pieces again. It's not being clear about what that challenge or difficulty was for this person. There is a sense of loss here, so that's why I suggested it could be a loss of a relationship or maybe a recent divorce or separation that they're still working through in all honesty or processing. But it could also be the loss of a job, the loss of an old identity. It could be custody schedule was changed and this person no longer has as much access to their children. This could be a change at work or a change in habits even. I feel it could be even related to not necessarily substance abuse, but substance use for people. I feel some of that in here as well. So it's a large group with a lot of different flavors. And so as I always recommend, I will share what the energy sort of tells me or what it feels like. But I probably won't catch every single condition or circumstance, so you will have to apply it to your particular circumstance and the way it best applies for you. But this person has been through a challenge, they've been through some difficulty, and they're still working to pick up the pieces and move on from this. So it was in the past, it doesn't feel like it's like present, but it is still lingering and or relevant for them, and they're still picking up sort of like the broken pieces and putting themselves back together. Yeah, so this person has been more or less emptied or gutted in some way. They've been through an incredible challenge that has led to likely a long grieving period. For some, like I said earlier, they could have or been self-medicating, and that self-medication isn't always bad or unhealthy. Some people keep that really well balanced and some people don't, and there's no judgment here. So this person might use alcohol or go to the bar more often or whatever it is to sort of soothe that wound and try to fill the void. They're trying to discover their way through this in a way that fits them or in a way that suits them. It's like they're trying to find their way, they're trying to navigate their own path. It doesn't feel like this person has gotten support to get through this. What I mean by that is formal support, a therapist, a mentor, a coach, something like that. It doesn't feel like they are in that kind of setting. It feels more like they've been trying to navigate it for themselves. And so they're sort of operating, not necessarily like trial and error, but sort of like wherever life takes them, they pick up this piece and then life will kind of go off in a little bit, and then they pick up another piece and slowly and surely they're finding their way, but it's more like finding a breadcrumb and then moving forward and finding the next breadcrumb and moving forward, as opposed to accelerated healing or even intentional healing. I don't think this person knows how to move forward fully. I don't think they know how to put themselves back together. They could most definitely use some formal support. That way it would be clearer and perhaps a more linear path, something that feels more guided, supported, and clear for them. But right now they're doing a lot of self-healing. And again, it's not even intentional. I don't even think that they know that's what's happening. But at some level, they probably recognize it. And for the most part, that, you know, they do recognize they've been through a difficulty. They do recognize they're trying to find their path again and trying to put it all back together. But I don't think that they're, you know, maybe even seeing it, not everybody anyway, as like growth or healing. They're sort of seeing it as, you know, this is my life and this is what's going on, and I'm just trying to hold it all together or figure it all out. So that's where they're at. They did go through a tremendous difficulty of some kind, and they're still finding their way. And again, a lot of them, this has been a past situation for them. It doesn't feel like they're in the deep dark void at the moment, but it does feel like they're still traversing the residual effects of that, of having been through something so monumental for them that changed maybe everything for them, changed their lives or changed them in some way. And they're trying to figure out, who are they now? Who are they after that chapter? Who are they now? So perhaps they haven't divulged this information to you. You might even know they went through a divorce, or they went through the loss of a job, or they went through something, but they probably haven't gone into great detail with you. You know, most people, right, just don't immediately give up all of these details, which I think is pretty natural. But this is sort of the emotions that are underneath, or the difficulty that is underneath, that's sort of underneath the radar, or underneath the car hood, that they haven't fully lifted to show you. Yeah, so they're moving through a time of really trying to discover that endurance or perseverance. And for some of them, it's very much there, but they're navigating a lot of inner journeying. You know, they're navigating a lot of inner healing and growth. And again, I don't think this person is fully conscious or aware. I don't know if they are as conscious as you, even, who's watching this. I'm assuming you're conscious in some degree, aware, maybe consider yourself spiritual if you're on my channel and you're watching this video. But I feel like this person is not maybe at that level. Perhaps they are aware in some ways, but they're not fully seeing this or fully guided in the way that they could be. It's like, you know, the lights went out to some degree and they're feeling lost. They are feeling a sense of loss, confused, maybe a lack of certainty. This person doesn't feel like they're in total blown out victimhood, where they have just like given up on life and resigned and in total apathy. It doesn't feel like that at all. Again, they are moving forward. They're trying to pick up the pieces. They're just not sure how to do that, how it all comes together. And again, they don't have that support. So it's, again, just kind of trial and error. Like, I'll try this, maybe try that. And they might be indulging a little bit in different things, food, other substances, or whatever, to kind of just figure it all out. But it doesn't feel like a full-blown addiction or any kind of problem that you might, that I would, you know, warn you about. It feels like, again, they're really trying to see this through. They're really trying to get themselves out of the muck. They're really trying to get themselves out of this valley of the shadow of death, or trench, so to speak. They're just not there yet. And so their deepest, darkest secret is this inner healing and this inner growth work and this inner journeying that they are moving through, that isn't clear maybe from the outside, but people might be able to say, people that know them, or maybe you from the outside, are able to say, you know, something's probably up, or, you know, lights have gone out a little bit, or person's not quite the same, or maybe they're a little bit more depressed, or they're a little quieter, or maybe they self-isolate a little bit more. Like, their life wouldn't show that they are in complete turmoil, but it should be clear that they're moving through something, which is probably what brought you to this video. So you're probably seeing something, and yet most of what's happening with this person is happening underneath the radar, underneath the skin. They're moving through some inner journeying and self-growth with themselves. Right. Oh my gosh, this is cool though. What's unfolding for them now though, they may not know this, but you do, so that's exciting, is they are coming up and out of this. They're moving through that spiral of healing and growth, and they are coming up and out of it. So this is their time of rebirth, their time of restoration, their time of renewal. I feel like you might even be relevant, and you might be a relevant piece for that renewal, a relevant piece for that rebirth, that you have now come in to be a part of their journey now. You didn't walk in, again, this person isn't in complete turmoil or finding themselves in the deepest, darkest void of their lives. They've done plenty of navigating already, and you're kind of coming at the tail end or midway through, but you're sort of representing for them as this light in the darkness, this potential of what's possible, that things could be better, things can be brighter. You are sort of like the light of the new day or the dawn or of the horizon. You've come in at this perfect time in their lives to sort of help them gain traction. Now, this does not mean that I'm asking you, or that there's a suggestion or energy here for you to be doing any saving or rescuing, or for you to be putting your hands in the pot or meddling in any way. I would wait for this person to divulge this information to you, at which point you would be able to navigate it with them or explore further if they decide and you decide to do so with them. This feels like you just happen to pop up in their lives. Your presence alone is beneficial, is helpful, and is supporting them to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You have nothing else you need to do but be yourself. And if you decide to be a part of their lives, excellent. If you decide not to, that's fine too. And you might not be someone who has recently come into their lives. Maybe this is someone who's you've known your person of interest for a long time, but still somehow, some way you are representing that for them. You're representing what's possible. You're representing a lighter energy, and you're seeing them at a time where they are sort of coming around the bend, coming around the corner, and they are moving through a rebirth process. So in the near future, I would say 6 months to a year, they will find themselves more so renewed, restored, and having really gone through the deepest journeying and come out on the other side. So let's see what these final cards are. Yeah, so it seems like you already know what's going on here. You're aware to some degree. It's, the energy here in the cards show that you are aware of this process. And again, they are coming out on the other side to really recreate something or create something for themselves. This person does have some level of endurance and perseverance. This person does not feel like they are in a place of complete lack of responsibility or victimhood. They feel like they are picking up the pieces. They might be moving slowly and with a sense of uncertainty, maybe not like all-out conviction, because I feel like not only are they still a little bumped and bruised from the ride, but I feel like this person might still be gaining a sense of confidence again, and a belief in themselves again, a belief in life again, but they are on their way out, and they have been able to journey this far, and so they are bringing about a greater change in their lives. This is going to bring out, ultimately what ends up happening is they are able to manifest a life that is more desirable for them, that is more favorable for them. Ultimately, they're able to create a vision for themselves that is more fulfilling, that is more freeing, that is lighthearted. So again, for some of them who have been through a loss of a relationship, they end up in a healthier relationship. Maybe this is you. Maybe if it's a job, they end up finding something that's more suited for them. But ultimately, they're able to live a life that's in more alignment and that feels lighter and more joyful to them than what they were living prior to this change. So card pile 1, your person of interest, deepest, darkest secret, what they're not telling you is that they've been through a dark night of the soul, a deep healing journey that they are still navigating, that they are still picking up the pieces, but they are enduring, they are persevering, and they are finding their way. You can trust them. They want you to trust them. They don't want you to have to come in and feel like you're going to save them or do anything for them, but maybe that's one of the reasons they haven't told you and that they're keeping it to themselves. I do feel they will eventually divulge this to you one way or another, but that you already know, so you'll just wait for them to share with you. Again, they don't want to be saved. They don't want any of that. They don't feel like a victim or looking for a rescuer. They just know that they're on a path that leads to something greater, and that's true. And you happen to be coming in here and sort of seeing the aftermath of a situation that they are very much journeying their way out of. So that's your card pile reading, card pile 1. Thank you for watching. If this lands or resonates, I encourage you to like, subscribe. Please do share your story in the comments. I do offer both personal readings as well as other offerings on my site. You can find all of those details below, and I will see you next time. Thank you, card pile 1. Okay, so card pile 2. This is on their deepest, darkest secret. So this is your person of interest. It can be a love connection, a soulmate in separation. This could be anyone relevant to you that you are coming to this video for. So it doesn't have to be a love connection, although it might very well be. And I also wanted to share my first glance, like when I just looked at the card piles, and again, I don't know details for yours yet. I haven't read you yet, but what I do know is most of these people, it's not like a deep, dark secret, like it's, I don't know, the worst case scenario. For everybody here, it's like some emotions that they haven't fully divulged to you, some experience or emotion that they're holding back or just haven't fully presented to you. That's what it feels like, although we're going to find out your details most particularly now. So card pile 2, their deepest, darkest secret. It feels like they see you as someone like they just think of you and see you very highly. So they think of you very highly. They see you as a gift. So this could be a love connection then if that's what's coming through, although it could be any kind of connection. They're very grateful for you. They see you in the highest light. They're just very colored by your presence in their life. You sort of brought a sense of optimism, a sense of hope, a sense of faith, a sense of, gosh, maybe everything can be right in the world, or maybe things can work out for me, or maybe relationships can turn out, whatever it is and whatever your connection is, however this energy lands for you, for your conditions and circumstances, is how it lands for you. So you have to apply what I'm sharing to your scenario. But they are seeing you sort of a light at the tunnel, a light at the end of the tunnel. They're seeing you as maybe even a goddess or a fairy, but just otherwise a gift. They are seeing you in the highest light possible. They're grateful for you, and they're sort of even putting you up, could be even on a pedestal. But above all else, they see the value in you. They see the value in this connection, and perhaps that's what they're not telling you. So this may not be a dark secret after all. This could be something they just haven't divulged. And so when we say dark secret, it just means hidden, suppressed, silenced, hasn't been divulged or expressed yet. But they are seeing the light that you are. They are seeing the gift that you are. They are valuing you, whether they've told you that or not yet. I do believe that they will mention this. I do believe they will eventually express this to you. This person feels like this isn't someone who's going to wear their heart on the sleeve right away or express something like this right away, but they're feeling a lot of deep joy and a lot of even like giddy schoolgirl or schoolboy vibes inside, about your connection, that you should up in their lives. They would say that they're grateful or thrilled or thankful or whatever. If they haven't said that to you, this energy is here. They just haven't divulged it to you. Yeah. So for a long time, it looks like they have wanted someone or something like you, and it hadn't happened yet. And so they were kind of wondering, maybe it doesn't happen. Maybe this doesn't happen for people. Maybe it's not real. Maybe these are sort of wishful, hopeless expectations that can't possibly be realized, or maybe they were wondering if maybe their standards were too high, or if they were expecting something that wasn't possible or real for them. And ultimately they're discovering that you in fact do exist. This kind of person does exist, and they are overjoyed about that. They are thrilled about that. They are grateful. They're seeing your value, because for a long time they thought that it wouldn't work out. They thought that, again, these kind of people or these kind of potentials or these kinds of relationships or this kind of thing doesn't happen. And now they're seeing that it in fact does. And in some way, for some of you, it may apply that you might be different than what they even expected, though, that you may, if this is a love connection anyway, that you may not be their type, like their usual type. And so you kind of came out of left field, this curveball, and in fact were everything they could have wanted, everything that they might have thought that they needed. So you're just like that curveball, that pleasant surprise, that reminder that, things can go well and things can go right, and love is real, and these kinds of possibilities are real. So you just feel like, their hidden secret, what they haven't yet told you, is that you're special. You're special to them. They value you. They see your value. And that's what we're seeing so far, that you have also, though I'm feeling now for some of you, you've gone above and beyond their expectations. So it's almost like maybe that's why some of you, you're put on a pedestal, because you are bigger and brighter and badder, so to speak, than they could have ever imagined or thought was real. And then here you are, and it's just like, oh, hallelujah. Okay, yeah, so they went through a difficult time, maybe many losses, a breakup. They've been through a history of things just haven't worked out, like we already said that, but it's showing this in a deeper way. The next layer of the reading, the deeper we go, this person has been through a series of losses, or maybe a series of heartbreaks. I do feel like for many of them it's relationships, but this could be also other trying circumstances, like just being misunderstood and not being fully valued in their jobs, not being fully valued in their relationships, things just not working out, things just not working out in their favor, just them not being able to realize or manifest their highest potential or highest vision for themselves. So they went through this period of grief, of longing, of loss, and more or less assuming that things might just not work out for them, that they are going to get a hand that maybe they didn't want to be dealt, that life wasn't going to deliver what they ultimately wanted. But in you, they are seeing that dreams do come true. In you, they are seeing that life does happen for people. In you, they are finding that there are greater possibilities and potentials available to them than they could have even imagined or expected. Now, what I will say is, For some of you, this might come as great news, for those of you who pick this pile and this resonates and you're like, oh my gosh, especially if this is a love connection or a person of interest in that way, or maybe it's a longer term relationship. It doesn't have to be a romantic connection, but I think for many in pile 2, that will be the case. But I have even felt employee kind of situations where you found a workplace and you might be asking about that, and now you're being told that they do value you, and they've had a lot of losses and maybe a lot of quote unquote bad employees, and they're grateful that they found value in someone. So my camera's like messing up here. I'm going to try to get it to focus again. But they value you for just who you are. They see the value in you as you are. They don't have even additional expectations for you. It's like you have met the bar and exceeded it, and they see that. And I think some of this too is because like some of their maybe even overwhelming gratitude for you is because of the depth of their losses before, that things that really just haven't worked out for so long, that you come in kind of meeting all their boxes and they can kind of check off the list, that they're just like overwhelmed with, shock, but also awe, gratitude, wonder. And I will say some of you might end up with this person, but here's the thing that I want to say. Overall, so far, this is the energy of this moment. Most of the energy that's coming through, it's not saying that you guys are soulmates or twin flames. You very well might be, right? We're not asking long-term. We're just asking about what has this person not divulged to you, more or less. What's their deepest, darkest secret? And it's dark because it's hidden. They haven't shared how valuable you are to them. But more than anything right now on their path, you represent showing them what's possible. That's what you are. That's why you have been brought into their lives right now. Now, can it become something from there? Yes. Can you guys expand from there? Yes. Could this be a long-term connection, a romance, a relationship, a workplace relationship? Yes. And for the moment where you guys are right now, what you're representing for them or for their soul is what is possible. What the potentials are, what the highest potential is. I don't yet know if this person is ready or available for you in that way. We haven't asked, and it doesn't say. But I just want to be clear that so I don't get a comment like in a year that's like, well, that person wasn't my twin flame and that wasn't my soulmate and you lied. It's like, no, that is not what is being said here. What's being said to you is that you are showing them what's possible, and you have been a saving grace for them in a lot of ways, and that they are gifted by your presence. They see the value in you, and you have brought hope and optimism and faith to their life experience to see that things are real, things are possible. So yes, they have now found, because of you, they are sort of seeing the value in moving forward and moving on and sort of letting these old hurts go if it's hurt. I don't feel a lot of heavy energy, but I do feel like a series of disappointments or failures or seeming failures that they thought were failures, that they're feeling like, okay, a new dawn, a new era is here, and I'm able to pick up the pieces and move forward because I know what's possible. This person has reminded me of who I am, of my potential, of what I ultimately want for myself, and I am able to move forward in my life. Now, they may move forward with you, but what's being offered here is that you've inspired them to move forward from their pain, to move forward from that loss, that heartbreak, that failure, whatever it is that they came out of. Now, again, I'm not feeling really deep, heavy, dark energy. If that is something that did happen for you or for your person of interest, excellent. You can apply it in that way, but I'm not feeling like that is the case for everybody or the majority in this group. I feel like they just now know that what's possible, and they're going to move toward what's possible. They're going to move toward that greater vision. And they're just able to see you for who you are. And what's really beautiful too is they just value you. And I love that they value you. And whether or not this becomes something that lasts forever or lifelong, or if it's a romantic interest or not, I love that they are able to see you and see your value. And I'm sure that's doing something for you too, because I feel like perhaps in this connection, whether it is amicable or love related or workplace related or whatever, this might be the first time that you feel like you're fully seen. This might be the first time that you feel like you are fully valued, appreciated, seen as precious, that you're cherished, that you feel special. This person has shown you in some ways, or helped you see, or will anyway. If some of you it hasn't happened yet, because again, this is something that hasn't yet been revealed in full. I feel like a lot of you know this. So a lot of you, they have treated you very well. And maybe you even wondered why or something like that. But for many of you, you already have some kind of inkling, but they haven't divulged this deep aspect of it, the root of this, which is you have shown them a brighter day. Like you have shown them what's possible. You've changed their lives. So they might be treating you very well, but you might not yet know the impact, the really, truly powerful, deep impact that you've had on them. And you are feeling the effects of that connection too. So you are finally feeling valued even in yourself. It's might even be supporting you in your own self-worth and your own confidence and your own belief in yourself. But it feels like this experience, this joy, whatever it is that's coming through for this person, their gratitude is contagious, that you're able to see yourself with that same light, with that same filter, with that same lens. Okay, so yeah, essentially what this has done for this person, what your connection, your presence, what you've offered just by being there, it's offered them sort of this zeal or this gusto or this motivation or this energy to kind of come out of that trying period and to move forward. So I don't know if this means you guys move forward together. You would know that better than I do, because it's not, we're not focusing on the relationship here or the connection. We're focusing on what they were holding back. And so that's the energy that we're diving into with spirit. And essentially it's like now they now have that strength to move on. They finally have that strength to carry on. They're seeing that things are possible again. They're not feeling hopeless and pessimistic or apathetic anymore. And so they're just able to feel that zest for life, and they have a greater willingness to move on and to move forward. And they're also starting to see the value in whatever it was they went through, whether it was a series of, disappointments, failures, losses, heartbreak, breakups, whatever it was for them. They're now seeing the value in those experiences and how it impacted them in such a way to bring them where they are and to also bring them to you. The fact that all of this brought them to you or brought you to them, they see some incredible value in that. So that is your card reading, card pile 2. Their deepest, darkest secret is that you are a gift to them, to their lives. You have impacted their lives likely forever. They will be able to look back at this time period in their lives and say, this is when everything changed because of this. And so whether or not you guys decide to move forward together, I don't know, again, if it's a romantic, platonic, workplace kind of relationship. I don't even know if you guys are even speaking at this time. What I do know is that regardless of whether you are or not, you have left an impact on them that will last for the remaining part of their lives. So thank you, card pile 2. I would love to hear your story and if this impacted you or resonated for you. If it did, you can like, share, subscribe. I would love to hear your story or feedback in the comments below, and I will see you next time. All right, so card pile 3, we are talking about their deepest, darkest secret. And when I've been sharing this with each of the piles, when I laid the cards down, what I found was this was really about something that hadn't yet been divulged to you. So in terms of deepest, darkest secret, it's more like what has been hidden, suppressed, silenced, or not yet expressed. So it's not like dark, meaning it's bad or heavy or negative. It's more so what just hasn't been put on the table yet. So knowing that, we'll go ahead and get started. Card pile 3. Okay. I like this. So card pile 3 is similar a little bit to card pile 2, so that resonated for you. And this is just the first card. We haven't gotten to the deeper layers, but that might land for you also. So anyway, diving into card pile 3, you are in the right place. So this person has been through a series of failures or losses or things just not working out, unfavorable circumstances, maybe things that just didn't add up. Maybe they're a good person. They've done kind of all things right, and yet they experienced all of this maybe tragedy or circumstances that really didn't land well for them and just didn't add up for the kind of person that they are. But above all else, what I'm trying to share is they have these broken dreams, and you've now brought some inspiration to their lives, some light to their lives, a reminder that things might work out, things might be okay, sort of this light at the end of the tunnel, a new dawn, a new day kind of energy that you're showing them and helping them even come alive, that life is worth living. And it's interesting too, because card pile 1 was so far the only one where, there was some deep or even heavy energy that this person was moving through, their person of interest. The other 2, what they haven't told you is something that's positive, something that's good. They just haven't divulged it yet. And so that's really special. I like that. I like when someone's holding back something that's good. And now I would love for them to share it with you and express it with you eventually, but it's not something that is like a deep, dark secret of theirs that they just haven't told you. Okay, so you bring a zest to their life, or, a little jazz to their game or whatever. They can walk a little taller. They can, walk a little faster. Like they just feel good. They feel light. Things feel better with you in their lives. They haven't yet shared this with you, but you are giving them hope, a semblance of hope, a semblance of optimism. But I'm especially feeling like zest, bringing some aliveness, maybe even passion back into their lives. Your person of interest, you're kind of bringing some color to their lives. I keep having this itch, so do excuse me. But you are a reminder that things can work out, things do work out well, and not everything is lost. So that's really fun, and I really like that. Yeah, so you're showing them, again, this reminds me so much of card pile 2. It's interesting that we got such similar energy. We'll see how, if they sort of distinguish themselves as we go through card pile 3, but they've been sort of trying to find the silver lining through everything that they've been moving through, and they're really trying to focus on the good and get themselves through maybe, you know, this trying time or whatever it was. I'm not feeling a lot of heavy energy at all, but I am feeling like they kind of maybe even gave up or resigned a little bit with life, or just was like, never mind, or F it, or just forget it, you know, and not a huge apathetic energy, but just like they went through a series of losses, failures, disappointments, and they were almost like, you know, what's the point of all this? Like, you know, I do things the right way, I might play by the book, I might do the right things, and none of it's working out anyway, so like, what's the point? And you're showing them that dreams do come true, that you do reap what you sow, that there, you know, there is a point to all of this, right? There is a greater meaning to life. You're just reminding them that life is good, giving them a reason for living, and just really reminding them that dreams do come true. And I think we already said that. So they have been, though, in a process of, again, trying to find that silver lining, trying to keep the hope, trying to keep the faith, trying to keep the optimism, and they really feel like they've done a pretty good job of that and like staying on track. But they did have this little voice in the back of their heads of like, maybe things don't work out, I don't know, I really haven't seen the fruits of my labor. But you, my friend, have shown up, whether this is amicable, romantic, or otherwise. I don't know this situation, or even if you're in separation, they're just looking back in hindsight and seeing the value in you. It feels like, though, a lot of you are new to this connection, so I do want to point that out in terms of the energy, what feels like a majority energy, but they're realizing that you are the harvest, you're the bounty, that all the things that they worked toward, it actually wasn't what they thought it was, that it was ultimately going to be you. So card pile 3, I'm actually feeling for you a little bit more of a long-standing energy that this could develop or blossom into a full-time or fuller relationship. Again, whether platonic, amicable, some people this is workplace. Card pile 2, I got some workplace energy. I don't get that as much in card pile 3. I do feel like this is a love connection, or a blossoming love connection, or love interest, or romantic interest. For some, it could be platonic, but I feel like when you're honest with yourselves, that you guys are looking for more. Both person of interest and the person who's watching. Might not apply to you, though. Please apply the energy to your conditions and circumstances. You are your ultimate authority. But it feels like this could end up or blossoming into a long-term or longer-term or, you know, blossoming connection that, you know, if you are new to their lives, this becomes something that's long-standing, something that both of you want. And that perhaps both of you are feeling like, hey, dreams do come true. This is actually what I worked for. This person, I feel like for some of you, for many of you, they have had a series of disappointments in work, or maybe things that are unrelated to relationships. That might not be the case for everyone. But it feels like for this card pile, that's really what it was. That they were trying to develop themselves. They were working toward a greater vision for their lives. They were working toward, you know, corporate success, or really developing themselves and their skill set and having something to show for it. And eventually maybe those things haven't worked out just yet, but that you came into their lives and they're seeing that, oh, okay, all that work wasn't for nothing. Maybe it didn't turn out in the way that I thought, in terms of maybe these other successes I was aiming for, these other results I had hoped for. But I am finding that we do reap what we sow. Okay? So yeah, it feels like, again, they weren't seeing everything for what it was. Like, what is it? Nothing is quite as it seems. So kind of like that kind of thing, where life was showing them one thing, right? These seeming failures or disappointments, or things don't work out, or I'm doing all this work and nothing's adding up. And so it was kind of feeling like that. But in truth, this other energy was developing all along, and it was going to be bringing you into their lives. So that's really neat. And that ultimately, even though they felt like, you know, this part of their lives was absent, and maybe at a deeper level, this person wanted a relationship, but they weren't letting themselves connect with that, and they weren't really actively giving focus to that or expanding into that. And maybe that they had some casual relationships and stuff, but they really hadn't given a lot of presence or priority to a deeper, more fulfilling love connection or relationship. And it was kind of like you blindsided them in that way, and that they're like, oh, maybe I did want this all along and I didn't even know it. You know, I was focusing on all this superficial stuff, or this personal growth stuff, this professional development stuff, and ultimately what I really wanted was this, you know, this kind of relationship, this kind of connection, this kind of companionship. This does feel very, very different from card pile 2, I will say, because card pile 2 is very much a lot of light, and almost like this person was seeing this other person, their person of interest was seeing them on a pedestal and of like, oh my God, hallelujah. And it just reminded them and gave them hope that life can be good and things can work out. And it gave them this like signpost of possibility in their lives. But for you guys, this feels like very grounded, very stable, and that they're seeing that there is some real genuine possibility here. There's some real genuine possibility for a long-term or more fulfilling relationship or connection. Yeah. So you're helping them come to life again. You're helping them see the value in life. And even feeling like for some of you, a small majority of you, you end up being with this person longer term and even having a family with them. It's rare that I even get kind of downloads like that. If that happens for you, please come back in a year or 2 or 3 or whatever it is and let me know that that happened. Please do. If this turns out and unfolds this way, what I can say is even if that doesn't materialize into form, this person sees that level of possibility in you. They see that you guys sort of come to life together and build a life together and bring about a manifested reality for the both of you that really serves the both of you. Like they see some really good, solid, grounded potential in you as a partner. And they might not have even realized that they wanted a partner or were seeking a companion. And they thought all they wanted was this other thing. And they're recognizing there's so much more to life, and that maybe all that stuff, while it was important to them, it really wasn't what they were working for, and that maybe they did want this all along, or that God, Great Spirit, Universe, whatever their belief system is, was bringing them another kind of gift, and it was you. So they see some possibility in you, even if you don't end up creating a family with this person. Some of you will. I do feel that. This is how like solid and stable and grounded this connection is. So please do share if you end up building a family with this person, even having a baby or then some children, but they see you it doesn't matter if your person of interest is male or female or identify as male or female or whatever, but they do see the potential of a family with you. So whether or not they end up bearing your children, or they end up doing that, or whether you end up doing that, if you are a woman who is watching, they do see that possibility in you. They want a family with you. So maybe that's what they're not telling you, but that's what they see, the possibility in this relationship. Okay, so yes, again, for a long time, they sort of had the veil over their eyes. So they weren't like fully or truly seeing how much they would benefit from a connection like this, or a companionship or a relationship. They were sort of, again, looking in different places for fulfillment. Looking in this nook, looking in this cranny, looking over here, looking over there. But all along, what they wanted was someone or something like you. And through whatever it is that they went through, these series of losses, disappointments, failures, or whatever, it put them on a path to be able to manifest or connect with or cross paths with you. And that is actually what they were working toward. And that's what they're seeing now in some form. I don't think they see this fully in the way that I'm sharing it. Instead, their deepest, darkest secret, what they haven't yet told you, is that they see incredible value in you. They see potential in you that could be lifelong or long lasting. They see that you guys could even share a family together and or build a life together. They see this as a very stable, grounded connection that has a lot of possibility and potential for the both of you in terms of building together, growing together, creating together. They see that a lot of what they were kind of working toward in life wasn't really what they wanted, but they didn't know that until they met you. So card pile 3, that is your reading. If this resonates, I do encourage you to share your comments below, share your feedback, like, subscribe. I do offer both personal readings as well as coaching sessions and longer term work. If that kind of thing inspires you, you can check out all those details below, and I will see you next time.